G'day, Tragic here, and welcome to box opening number 8 and the overwhelming urge to clear my table seems to be shared by many people because box 6 is the winner. And some of you may notice that box 6 in the last video had kind of brackets around it because it's actually all the boxes on the table at once. So all those people wanting me to open a big box, don't worry. I'm opening a bunch of boxes this time, not just a single one. Let's do it. Okay, first up we have this sucker. What will this one be, do you think? Yablamo? Yablamo. Nautilus. Oh, this is a Wolfgang Kramer and Carlsberg game. They're like a double act. They make absolutely fantastic games. And this one's kind of like, I guess I'd call it a shipyard light. It's got very similar kind of concepts. You build your ships. So you build your ships, you make your goods trading. You've got your shipyard here. But this is a lot simpler to play. It's a lot prettier on the table. This is actually a great game. Cosmos, who I think is a very underrated company. No one talks about them. I mean, everyone knows them, but no one really talks about how absolutely great that company is. And Wolfgang Kramer and Michael Kilsenberg, or whatever his name is, are just legends. They make so many great games. So this is a Euro game, but it's a very light one. Well, I don't know. A lady I know says I use the word light Euro way too much for heavy games, but I consider this a fairly light game. What's next? Oh, it's just my LCG box for Star Wars. It's got tokens and all that kind of stuff in it. And an LCG box for Android Netrunner. That's another just tokens and all the assorted stuff. Okay, that's the end of that box. What is this one? This one's not even open. Yep, it is a board game. It's in an Amazon box. It's weird. What did I buy off Amazon? Oh, boom. Okay, this is part of Mythic Battles. There was a great game called Mythic Battles, right? Sort of card game, very minimal. I love it. I still love it. And they did a huge Kickstarter for Mythic Battles Pantheon, and I very foolishly bought an all-in pledge, and I've never played it once. I can never get it to table. No one is interested in playing it. It has 500 billion pieces that take up all this room. I've been trying to sell it for like years. No one wants it. It's a great example of a kicker that I felt ripped off by. Not as in they did anything wrong, it's as I just made a terrible purchase. It's one of those kickers that is like, you'll see eventually there's like maybe 10, 12 boxes just of this Mythic Battle stuff. It's just huge. You're never going to play it. And the thing is, no one wants to play it because Mythic Battles is a dueling game. And the fact is, I don't really have anyone to duel with. It's not a game that people I live with like to play. And if you have a game night, you know, you've got multiple people there. So you never play dueling games. So it was a terrible buy on my part. Game's not actually bad. Game is good. The original game is fantastic. But this game is a bit bloated. But yeah, so the thing about this game is it has absolutely gorgeous minis. So I thought maybe I'd paint them because I enjoy painting minis. But then I realized, you know, I've got a million minis to paint from all the games I actually do play. So that's that. What is in this one? It says assorted junk on it. Ooh, don't know why I call this junk. We have one of my Eldritch Horror boxes. Got some plastic card protectors. Spare adventure map for Too Many Bones. It's a secondary adventure map. It's got double-sided. An RPG map for playing role-playing games. Some assorted pies and stuff for organization. More junk. And this isn't a sort of junk box. Card protectors. So the rest of that is just card protectors. That's all spare stuff for my card game collections.
So when I started seriously collecting the LCG systems, I actually bought card sleeves for every single card that I bought. And I realized I was basically spending almost as much money on the sleeves as I was on the cards. And most of the cards go into the collection as a viewing thing. You only use, 60 cards out of your whole collection to make a single deck, for example. So I ended up unsleeving them all and just sleeving the particular cards I use for decks. And I ended up with this giant box full of sleeves that I never use, or I slowly am using over the years.
So basically, I use a card protector called Dragon's Shields. They're, in my opinion, the best card sleeves you can get. They do have a tendency to get a bit cloudy over time, but they're not too bad. They're thick, very, very strong protection, and I love them. They fit cards perfectly too, very nice and snug. Oh, what's in this one? So, little tip for when you're voting. These smaller boxes, especially the ones that I packed by folding the box and not taping it, were the first ones I packed. So they actually have my best games because they're the first ones, on the front of the shelves, usually. Let's see what's in this one. Oh, now this is a joyous box. For starters, we have Wiz War, one of my all-time favorite games that I've been playing, for nearly 40 years. Amazing game. This is the FFG version, the reprint. It's a very good version, but I play with the original rule set. Duel of Ages 2. Amazing game. I really should play this on the channel one day. This is just a mind-bogglingly good game. This is another bunch of stuff for it. And here's all the tokens for it. Now, I did a rules explanation of this game. It was one of the first rules explanations I did. So you can check that on the channel. And of course, one of my favorites, Touch of Evil. Absolutely gorgeous game. Really, really fun. It's the only game, in my opinion, that really stacks up versus Arkham Horror 2nd Edition. One of the great thematic games. And I don't care what anyone says. The art, with these cosplay-looking photos, I absolutely adore it. I love it. And this is the expansions. So the whole of Touch of Evil, including some of the print and play stuff and a lot of the extra, promo items you can get off their website, are in these two boxes. That's a full set of Touch of Evil. I think I'm missing one evil monster. Now, yes, there are two other boxes here, but they are not actually board games boxes. They're just things I need to get rid of. One of them's got photos of my granddad, my grandma, stuff like that. And the other one is, what's in the other one? And the other one is just random assorted stuff that has nothing to do with board games either. So this is a very juicy box. One of my favorites. Another one of my favorites. Duel of Ages. God, that's a good game. And you have no idea how good that game is if you haven't played it. Wiz War. I mean, seriously. One of the best games ever made. Eldritch Horror, a game that I've been very critical of because of my love of Arkham Horror, but it really is a good game. Two LCG boxes, Nautilus, and of course, Mythic Battle, one of the many Mythic Battles boxes to come. Wow, what a haul. So like I said, sometimes the smaller boxes have the better goodies. Okay, well that's that. Don't forget to vote on the next box to open, and I'll see you guys next time.